What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own new review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So, we start out with Kenya and Drew. They FaceTime each other, getting ready for Jamaica. Drew's getting her eyelash done. Kenya's wondering about the rules. How did you feel about them? I mean, Drew is abiding by them. She's getting braids, having water-friendly hair, like Sonya said. Kenya didn't really take her rules seriously. It's like, girl, let me give you proper rules about having a party. First of all, don't have cheap decorations. Second, hire a caterer. Don't have dry ass food again. And number three, hire a party planner. Okay, moving on. So listen to the rules, wondering, are Drew and Sonya in a good place? She said they are, and at the end of the day, Drew didn't do anything to Sonya. So wondering, how did they become such a back and forth of a developing friendship to be so hard to have? But I'm going to continue on to be in a good place. That's it. I'm going to be the bigger person, okay? So trying to abide by the rules. They were allowed to bring somebody a +1. She was bringing her cousin, but her cousin got sick. So now she's flying solo and doesn't really want to make it a big deal that she didn't have anybody, okay? And to have Sonya push that on Kenya, knowing that Kenya is not in a place right now of dating anybody, it wasn't right of Sonya to do that to her. And that's not really something that should be fun to talk about, shade to say. It really wasn't good. And Kenya feels like people think because I'm single, that means I want a man around me. My happiness is not dependent on a +1. I make my own happiness, all right? And that's correct. We're going to move on from that. Sonya, she and Ross are getting ready for Jamaica, doing some quick workout to get their body nice and tight and shaped. And their trainer is her brother-in-law, who simultaneously is Ross's best friend. And it was also cute to see them work out and see their sons work out too. I enjoyed it. And while trying to have a good time on this trip, we will have to do a little bit of work, but have a lot of fun. And again, I don't want no drama. Sonya, good luck with that. Having no drama, okay? Good luck with that. So Drew and Ralph, they having a small conversation about Drew's wig, where it came from, and he really don't like that color. He loves Sasha. That's the wig he called. It's long, black, and exotic, okay? So then they're talking about the book. He's writing a book on co-parenting, stepping up as a step parent, and maybe Marlo can understand where he's coming from, being a blending situation, and continue on with having the conversation of Ralph adopting Drew's son Josiah, right? Because he did talk to her mom and her about adopting him, right? But out of nowhere, he had a conversation with JoJo's father and decided to place adoption on hold. He changed his mind. So she wants to know when at some point you had that conversation and it led you to change your mind. He viewed it as a piece of paper, okay? It doesn't affect me already stepping into being his father. A piece of paper doesn't define me being his father more than I've already shown up to be. But, I mean, you are showing up as a book, though. You're writing a book as a guideline of co-parenting someone else's child, right? But if Ralph feels like this doesn't mean nothing, I've always loved him as my son, so a piece of paper doesn't do anything. And I've already spoke to his father. His father expressed how he would felt. I don't want to step on no toes, so I'm going to leave him alone, okay? And he said he doesn't care that his father's in his life or not. I said, okay, well, that's cool, but you're stepping up as to be a parent to someone else's child that he didn't do. You stepped up. So I think that's maybe the whole point. Maybe for Drew, maybe that's the point. You stepped up, and maybe stepping up means going all the way through it. You stepped up to raise him. You stepped to call him your son, and you stepped up to fully adopt him. Maybe that's the part where she's kind of like, maybe it's not really something he wants to do anymore, but he just think that this is all he should do, maybe. So his publisher comes over to the house, have a full meeting about the book. Drew gets to meet her for the first time, have the right introduction, because Drew didn't even know about the book deal by his assistant. And now coming to find out, Drew didn't even know where the guideline of the book is going to start from, because it's starting her life as a single mother, meeting a man who came in to be a step parent. So the book is dedicated to fathers coming in and being step parents to other people's children, but it's centered around Drew and Josiah. So she's definitely feeling left out, that she was not a part of the process. He said, I know the book could be sensitive, starting with Josiah, but it's bigger than all of us. Right, but it's still a point in my life, though. I mean, I worked hard as a single mother. I made so many mistakes, and for us to even put that in the book, that means it's going to be read back to the mistakes that I made and the life that we went through, the journey. That's going to be a lot to relive all over again. So feeling left out that Ralph excluded her from the book, it's like, this is about my child that I birthed. And you're not talking to me about it. You're not keeping me informed of where you're going to start. What's the outlook? What's the guideline? Is it going to be a positive outlook? A negative outlook? I don't know. But he wants to sweeten the deal by letting her write the foreword. How can I write the foreword if I don't know what the book is going to be about? You're talking about our life. I don't know when and what part of our life you want to incorporate in the book. So what can I look forward to writing if I don't know what I'm writing about? So again, out of the loop. And I'm like, Ralph, this is part of communication. How can she be confident about writing something for the book if she doesn't even know where to write, what to write, what aspiration do I have to write about it? And the cover of the book is going to have Ralph in the front and maybe the whole family in the back, but yet that still doesn't explain what I need to do. I don't know what I need to do because I haven't been informed. I haven't been included in this process. I don't know what the hell this man was writing. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what point where he wanted to write about. Don't know. But we're going to keep going from there. So Sonya, she has everybody getting on a Sprinter van so everybody can arrive at the airport on time. But Ross forgot his passport. So while they were driving to Marlo's house, he had to get out and take an Uber back home and meet them at the airport. Marlo's plus one was a florist. And she thought that would be a much better solution than bringing some dick on a plane. Sure, Marlo, because you probably couldn't find one. And then Sheree brought her friend along. Kenya didn't have a plus one, but maybe they can share hers. So they all made to Jamaica. Jamaica's always been a home to Sonya. And then she made it completely obvious that everybody brought a plus one besides Kenya. Where's your plus one? She said her plus one got sick and couldn't make it. And now Sonya thinks that Kenya was lying and that she never had a plus one to begin with. Sonya, what proof do you have of Kenya lying about not having a plus one? She was trying to abide by your rules, and of course she did not know what else to do, so she decided to say, okay, well, I can't get mad over it. I can't force somebody who's sick to come on a trip. Don't want anybody else to get sick, so go ahead and feel better. I'm okay with riding by myself. So Sonya, have several seats. You trying to say you've never had a plus one. You lying. First you was sick, now your plus one was sick. I said, Sonya, go to bed. You have no reason to believe that Kenya is lying about not having a plus one. And I don't know why it should bother you to this point. So now we're doing a roll call to want to know who's here and who did you bring. Marla brought her florist, who's a good friend. And it's like, so you brought your florist here? And Candy talked about, you mean to tell me for somebody who used to talk shit about everybody else's situation, everybody else's relationship, this is who you decided to bring? You didn't want us to see one of your sponsors, that's why. And I was dying laughing because that's correct. She did not want us to see these old men that she be sleeping around with. So then we see Mania's husband Heath. Sheree brought her really good friend Michelle. So letting everybody know that throughout this trip, Sonya's going to get more and more Jamaican. Bop, 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 bop. She's going to be all of that and then some, okay? She used to travel to Jamaica multiple times throughout the year, but COVID kind of shortened that, so she travels less. And they arrive at the hotel. They're greeted with a drink. She has personalized gift baskets for the ladies. And since Kenya's birthday is happening throughout the trip, she had a very special gift for her in her room. So greeted with drinks. Todd said earlier in the episode that he's taking a detox from drinking. He's going to cleanse his body, right? And he looked back on how he drunk 4 times throughout the week. And this time he just wants to cleanse his body, detox it all out. But when he has the ability to drink again, oh, he's going to turn up, okay? Because I don't know about you. When it comes to this, oh, I'm finna turn up. Shout out to TikTok. So after that, we also get golf carts waiting for them to arrive at their hotel. But Sonya and Kenya, they spot a little cutie popping up as they are, traveling by. He caught Kenya's eye. And they said, hold up, we got to do a U-turn. We got to do a U-turn. And of course, Candy. Candy is like, what are we stopping for? Because I'm hungry. We ain't finna be stopping for long. Now I'm getting hangry now, okay? And we see this cute guy, you know what I'm saying? His name is John. He's visiting his brother from England. And Sonya, being her wing woman, she decided to invite him to dinner. I said, okay, I see you. And like Kenya said, I am back on the market, but I'm not really ready yet. I'm just going to get my feet wet, put a toe in. Just halfway, not all the way, okay? So they arrive at their presidential suite. It's really nice, little decoration. Candy said, this resort is nice. I've been here before, so I'm going to act like it's my first time, you know, because trying to give props to Sonya's first trip, okay? She's doing good. She got the welcome greetings. She got the hotel. She got the food ready. You know, she's starting off good, starting off strong with her trips. So, Sheree had to use the bathroom, but her and Marla going back and forth. We're going to stink up the bathroom, girl, whatever. So then it was a conversation about how is Sonya doing while this being her first trip. You know what I'm saying? How am I doing? How am I doing? I'm like, you doing good? You doing good? You know, ever since, you know, making up for that terrible ass birthday party you threw for Sheree. And pretty much, you know, trying to be gracious to the host because she's giving their rooms. And if you're nice to the host, you can get a really good room. And it's like, well, damn, if you're going off about how we treated you, Drew might be in the closet, which is correct. But while they're all having that conversation, Kenya is receiving text messages from John. He's asking her questions like, how are you? Are we still on for dinner? Yes, dinner's at 7. All right, I'll come and get you up at 6:30. We can walk together. I was like, go ahead, Kenya. Go ahead and get yours. I'm not mad at all. You deserve it. You deserve to be in a little corner, have your little texting, you know, being a little bit in the blushing world. You deserve it. So everybody was getting ready for dinner, and then we see Kenya getting ready for John. John talks about how beautiful Kenya is. He cannot help it. Hearing his accent, hearing him say how beautiful she was, I was like, oh, he likes her. She says he's a nice guy and that she's never wrong about looking at a nice man. But then Bravo with the shady production footage, they have to say you are never wrong when it comes to saying that this is a nice man. Okay, Walter, not a good man. Matt, I like Matt, but then I didn't like Matt. And Mark, no ma'am. So Kenya's really safe to say you really don't have a good radar when it comes to spotting good men. You know what I'm saying? Maybe need to touch up on that skill a little bit. So everybody arrives at dinner. We see Sonya and Drew. They're actually in a good place because they had a nice room. And Sonya is just going to let things flow. She's not going to question everything. She's not going to talk about whatever's on her mind at the time. She's just going to let things happen naturally, which is what she should have done in the beginning and not question on what someone else's behavior is for someone that you don't even know. And she hasn't done nothing to you to make you feel away. But we're going to move on. So then everybody arrives at dinner and we see Kenya and John walk in. Everybody was like, all right, Kenya, go ahead, girl. Kenya got her groove back, all right? And then we get Marlo, who's a hater. It's written all over her face. She said, Hoppo, who this man? Oh, she done picked up a stray. Even when they were waiting for Kenya and Sonya to come back from the golf cart and they arrived at the hotel, Marlo was talking to Ross to saying, what happened? Oh, Kenya got a date. Who did the picking up? Did she pick them up or he picked her up? It was like a back and forth. They both exchanged information. He didn't pick her up. She did the picking up. She could never get a man. Shit like that. I said, Marlo, you're such a hater. You are such a hater. What you hating on her for? For what? It's not a good look on you to be a hater, okay? So they just asking John all types of questions, okay? First of all, John, how old are you? He's 27. He looks good for 37. He looks good for 37. And the producer wants to know, wait, King, you said you would never date a younger guy. No. I never said I wouldn't. I said 30 to 60 is the age range, and he's right there at 37. He's in the good market, okay? So then we got a conversation of boxers or briefs for John. He said commando. Kenya makes a joke, a very giddy, very nasty joke. That I thought I was wondering why this table had a third leg. I said, Kenya, come on, Kenya. I love this Kenya right here. I love it, love it, love it. Then they were gifted a bottle of wine by these two white men back there. I'm like, oh, they see a group of black women and they wanted to be a part of the crowd, all right? So Sonya asked Marlo, is she okay? And she said, I'm fine. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So that led to that conversation being on pause because she's still worried about her nephews. Sheree asked Ralph, okay, what's this book Drew told us that you're writing about? What's this book about? So it's a book about co-parenting because he's a stepfather of his son Josiah, who he claims as his real son, you know. And right before he could finish, Marlo wanted to give congratulations that he wanted to adopt him, or you're going to adopt him. And he didn't think it was logical for him to adopt him. Marlo wanted to know, how did you knew that you weren't going to adopt him? Did you knew you weren't? Did you knew you weren't going to adopt him? So the conversation about him talking to his biological father, he figured that would break his father's heart. And he did not want to step on his toes, you know. And I guess, I mean, are we still going off of what was said the last time, how his father doesn't really step up? And maybe his father is trying, but not trying enough. I don't know. But if he's trying to still give his father that sense of respect on him being his biological father, he still is awarded some form of respect. I'm not going to step on his toes because I've taken care of his child from day one. I've given him my last name. I've been more of a stable parent than he was. So I guess. So, the conversation about him wanting to adopt him, Marla wasn't really understanding the conversation, and she was just talking. She didn't really understood what was the conversation. She thinks she has a leg up because she was a foster parent and that she can say something, but I don't think so. So Marlo again was just talking because she thought she had room to speak, but she don't. So she just assumed or just carried on the conversation that, okay, so you're not adopting him, so what are you going to do? Come around part-time? You're just going to say this and that, be a part of him as a friend? Like, what is going on? I just want to know. Because you're just going to stay and do that. So seeing that Marla was going so hard on Ralph on what he decided not to do when it comes to stepping in on adopting Josiah, Candy was like, what I want to understand is why you going so hard about this situation when you clearly have to work on your own situation. I mean, she's just saying, I'm just saying, I don't want to be in a space where you're going to adopt him and you're not going to, take on full responsibility. You're just going to step in as a friend, help out their mental. But who said he's not stepping in as a father? Who said he's not handling his responsibilities? So Ralph wanted her to understand that he has two fathers. All I'm trying to do is navigate the fact that he don't have to choose. He has two families. He has two men he can go to for help. Okay? That's when Marla decided to bring her nephews in a situation. That's where she placed the whole, you wouldn't take on full responsibility. You just come in part-time, be a friend. You wouldn't put them on your taxes. You wouldn't do this. You wouldn't do that. And the whole point of him treating his other children differently. Now, I thought in the beginning that's what I thought he was doing. But the fact that he said he claims Josiah as his son, there's nothing else that needs to be said. He's already like, there's nothing more that needs to be talked about. So the fact that Candy was like, first of all, how are you saying he's not taking full responsibility when he lives with them? He calls him his son. He's been the father that he's always known. He's only been the father. He doesn't look at his dad as his real dad. He looks at Ralph as his father. So what do you mean he's not taking on full responsibility? This is Marlo just talking as if she can talk, but she can't talk. A lot to say about someone else's situation. When it comes to her, that's when we're going too far. That's when we're hurting her. But she can have so much to say about someone else's situation. And that's why Kenny was like, first of all, I just want to know why you going so hard about a situation when you got your own situation. And Marla goes below the belt and brings up how Candy puts her mother over her husband. I'm like, really, Marlo? Why? Because Candy had bred you with what you couldn't handle? Again, that's what Marlo does. When she looks as if she doesn't know what she's talking about, she makes it seem as if someone else hurt her, and that's not what the situation was. You hurt Candy when you mentioned her mother. Nobody mentioned her mother but you. And saying how in my situation, it could be weird to you. Just like how in your situation, you tend to put your mother over your husband. And she said, first of all, don't worry about mine. Worry about yours, okay? Figure out what's going on over there. Don't come over here with mine, okay? Leave me and mine alone. And again, Candace said, you don't think it's weird that you sent your nephews away thinking that they won't feel away, they won't feel not wanted? How you think that's not understood? Here she goes again, how you belittle Todd over your mother. Say it again. Girl, you trying to relate two things and it doesn't work. My man's sitting right here, okay? He does not feel belittled, okay? And no means necessary. So, it's just like, girl, good night and goodbye. And then how Marlo said, no man will ever deal with your mother the way Ty did. No man will speak up and deal with your mother. Who said that? And then she said, girl, you sitting right in front of me kicking it while sending your nephews away. You can't say what he's doing. You can't say he's not taking on full responsibility. This man's doing what he's supposed to do. He is stepping up taking care of a child that's not his, while you sent your kids away because you can't handle two teenagers. And Marlo's in a state of delusion. She is always in a state of delusion because she thinks that King said things to hurt her and that she did not say nothing to hurt her right before it. How she knows that this is killing me. She knows how this can hurt me. And this is something I never share with everybody. And for her to do that, kids are off limits. Since when, Marlo? Since when our kids were off limits? When you talk shit about everybody since then. You talked about Brooklyn. You talked about the boys. You've talked about Candy. How is it that kids are off limits when you do it? See, that's why Marlo is in a state of delusion. She never starts at the beginning. She starts at the reaction. Nobody else came after you. You inserted yourself in thinking you know about Ralph's situation, thinking you know better when you didn't. That's why Candy was looking at you like, girl, you don't have a room to speak. How can you say what he's not doing when he is stepping up and you're not? How she knows that's hurt me. Good night, Marlo. You just said you sent your nephews away to your sister who has 4 children and lives in a 2-bedroom apartment. That's what you say. Marlo going back and forth on how you raised your kids, you raised someone else's kid, you raised your own. Yes, I did. I raised someone else's child and mine. But you had a village. That don't mean nothing. Yes, it takes kids to raise a village. It takes a village to raise children. Yes, but at the same point in time, Marlo, different situations. Candy had the help. And for you, you expect the help, but doesn't respect to help in return. You want people to help you, but you wouldn't go out of your way to help them unless it benefits you, unless it makes you look good. And we all know what Kenny did to her nephew Melvin. She raised that boy and cared for him and still care for him in his grown age to this day. What the hell? Kenny did not quit. She did not let it break her while raising Riley, also raising Melvin. She stuck it out. That's what a parent do. We do not give up when the going gets tough. That's what you did, Marlo. You gave up. Then she goes below the belt again, saying how you take care of a man. I don't take care of no man, okay? Then we're going back when Kenny and Ty first met. That everybody just assumed, or the story has been told, that Ty was just a bum. That Kenny just plucked up and just took care of. No. Ty was in production for the show for many years to come. And hearing that Mama Joyce, you know how Mama Joyce always talked about that Ty just want to take Candy for her money. He doesn't really love her. Mama Joyce still feels like that to this day. And she needs to let it go, okay? And it's like, for real? You bringing up something from 10 years ago to apply this? This doesn't apply. And Ty don't want no money from Candy. He has helped Candy more than Candy has helped herself. He's elevated. They both elevated each other. So the fact that Marlo thinks that she did something by calling out that Mama Joyce said that Ty didn't want her, Ty talked shit about her, and then go back and forth. And we never take Mama Joyce's words at face value. We know how Mama Joyce could be. And then it's just like going back and forth, seeing how Marlo would ever do that to a person. And while seeing them argue, Kenya is looking at Sheree, and she says, Sheree, that's your friend. And I was like, get her, Kenya. And Sheree was mute the entire time. Now I want to say she's Switzerland. No, you weren't Switzerland when you were going against Kenya. You weren't Switzerland when you was helping Sonya get back at Drew. You weren't Switzerland then helping Fatum get at Drew. You weren't Switzerland, no way. Even with Drew, even when Kenya and Marlo, you was on Marlo's side. So, Sheree, sometimes you're going to have to speak up, bro. You can't always be mute when it suits you, because they're going to want to know, why didn't Sheree step in? At that point, you knew for a fact that what Marlo said to Kenny was fucked up. You knew it was. So, miss me, Sheree, how you want to be Switzerland. You knew right then and there, Marlo did not have to say that to Candy, and Candy didn't even do anything to her. So, like Candy says, she's trying to get a rise out of me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Then going back and forth how you could be a provider. It's okay. How can you work and be a mom, be a provider? It's cool. It's cool. And then she's like, first of all, what are you talking about? I work all day, every day. And then Manietta was like, we all got jobs. What does that mean about Candy? What's the difference? Candy looked at Kenya. Kenya, do you work all day, every day? And I still do my job as a mother. So what's your point, Marlo? So even Manietta is witnessing this fight. And she was like, for someone to say they like Todd, they love Candy, I can't tell. Because for you to go below the belt and hurt her like this, that's not what a friend does. That's not cool. That's not okay. And it's not. And Candy said, listen, I take care of my kids. I take care of other people's kids. That's what I do. What I've never done is tell them to get the fuck out. That's what you did. And then, again, bringing up somebody else's husband. That Ty said a lot of shit about you. He didn't want you. He didn't like you. And then the end to say, Todd, I love you. You're my favorite person, Todd. I love you so much. He said the fact that you even repeat some bullshit that you know is not true already showed me how you are. Show me your true colors. What wasn't true? What Mama Joy said? Yes, because we can never take what Mama Joy say at face value. We don't fool with her. And then Todd lets it be known. First of all, you know how I know you got into this circle. How I know? Because you bought your way in. No, I did. I came with Phaedra. Girl, nobody was your friend. I watched behind the scenes. Nobody wanted you. Nobody knew you. You bought your way in. Okay? I said, get her, Todd. Get her. Then how Todd talked shit about Candy. She was a country bumpkin, this and that, and the third. She's like, oh, what? First of all, she met Todd when they went to Africa. The last night of Africa on his birthday. They talked all night long. And then he wants to meet up with her in Atlanta the next time. How he's in television production. And they've been going out ever since. So the fact that you say, before I even had a chance to talk to him, before I even looked at him, you say that he talks shit about me? Oh, okay. Well, I'm letting you know now. Since you saying how he didn't like me or didn't want to get to know me, this man fell in love with a country bumpkin. Now what you got to say? What you saying don't make sense because ever since then, it's been Candy and Todd this entire time. And I can't tell if Todd ever think but talking shit because Todd don't look like the type to be talking to you about talking shit about Candy for what? What will you have to gain on talking to you? He don't even look at you. So we got Candy and Todd going back and forth with Marlo. I'm here for it. Calling Marlo, you a lying ass bitch. And remember who was there for you when you wanted something done. Remember who vouched for you because we all know that Candy still helps people out even when they do her dirty. She was there for Marlo when she wanted to help Marlo to get a reality show. And Marlo ruined it. She squandered an opportunity. Telling me, remember how I helped you out when you wanted to do something. Remember that. Marlo's in a state of delusion yet again. Candy, who have you helped out? Who are you known for? You've only known for being in Atlanta. Candy said, did she say I'm only known for Atlanta? Bitch, I'm worldwide. And I'm just like, Candy, you shouldn't even felt that as a read because that makes no sense whatsoever. We all know Candy is known for way more than Atlanta and everywhere else. She is still a prominent member of Escape. They're still touring. I hear they have a reality show coming up. She got a whole lot of shows. Her penmanship. Check her resume, bitch, Marlo, okay? And I'm just like, this is so fucking stupid. Let them know, Candy. I am worldwide, okay? And I love the fact that Kenya said, okay, Marlo, you're the first to get flown out for sprinkling white powder on old white men, Marlo. You are the first world-class hoe. That's what you are. Even when I went to Jamaica, you want karaoke singing my songs, bitch, that I sung and even wrote. Okay? And how Todd was still talking shit. He said, I don't even talk to you. Why would I talk to you? Even in Japan, you was throwing money everywhere. Girl, I don't know you. Realizing all this is going on, where was John, Kenya's date? Oh, he was gone. John, where you go? He couldn't handle it. He left. And then Manietta's husband, he was like, I'm gone. Yes. Yes. And it ended with Candy looking at Marlo and saying, bye, lonely. Bye, lonely. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. Marlo got some motherfucking nerve thinking that she can come at Candy. For real? Girl, Candy read your ass down and I was here for it. Girl, you couldn't do nothing. And there was nobody on your side. Even Sonya. Even Sheree. Nobody was defending you. Nobody. And here goes Sonya. Y'all, please, let's behave. Let's behave. No, we're not supposed to. I said, Sonya, girl, good luck with that. Good luck with trying to get these grown women getting in line. Because next episode, apparently, you and Kim get into it. And I cannot wait. But y'all, that's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video. And I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.